Today, on Be Something Wonderful, don't put conditions on the fulfillment of your wishes and desires. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. Good morning. Big video this morning. I want to talk about this client. Really cool story. Because for months, she was putting conditions on the fulfillment of her desires. In other words, putting these conditions in front of her that I can have my desires, right? They were almost invisible conditions, right? I can have my desires when I feel better thoughts, when the conditions in 3D improve, when I get the metaphysical practices right, when I have the right imaginal scene, when I have the right affirmation, when I feel better about 3D reality, when I feel better about the conditions, all of these, she's putting all these conditions to the absolute fulfillment right now of her desires, right? Finally, what did she do? She said, Tom, I just said, F it. This was her method, right? She didn't give up her desires. She gave up putting all those conditions on the acceptance and the absolute assumption of her fulfillment right now. And in her case, she was looking for an apartment and a car. She needed money. And what happened? This is very similar to a story that one of you were sharing on the channel where you received $22,000. She received $30,000. She got a letter in the mail. It was an account. It was something she didn't even know about. That it dropped on her lap after she gave up putting all those conditions in front of her. She stopped holding on to the conditions. She stopped creating conditions to her absolute and complete fulfillment right now. She stopped trying to feel better about it. She stopped trying to feel better thoughts. She stopped trying to manifest it and get the processes right. Right? Remember, what did she do? She manifested like source. She manifested as source. God has no conditions on your good. It's my good pleasure to give you the kingdom. God didn't say it's my good pleasure to give you the kingdom if you feel or think better thoughts, if you get the manifesting processes right, if you do the right affirmation, if you say abracadabra in the right way, you can have what you want. It's yours. Announce your reality like God does. And remember, when God becomes it in the announcement of it. That's all she did. She became it in the announcement of it. She let every other belief in an outside power go. And she held on to the belief that she is responsible for the phenomena of her life. She is source, right? Wow. She saw herself as source. No other second causes. I want to hit this like we never have before. Remember, stop putting conditions on the fulfillment, the absolute and complete fulfillment of your wishes and desires right now, right? The biggest hidden or invisible condition keeping you from assuming and claiming your desired reality right now is this. I can be who I desire to be and have what I want to have when I think and feel better thoughts, when I'm more positive. She had this, right? And she just said, the heck with that. I'm gonna claim it. That's what she did, right? Wow, that's better. And what other conditions do we put it? When I feel more deserving, when I feel more worthy, when I feel more love, when I get my self-concept fixed, when I fix my 3D self, when I fix and heal my past trauma, when I fix and heal my emotional wounds, I can have what I want. I can give myself permission to be who I want to be. Do you see the conditions we put there? When I find out what's missing from my metaphysical practices and techniques and processes, I can have what I want. I can move to my wish fulfilled. When it finally clicks, when 3D conditions say so, I can have what I want. Do you see it? Remember, God's love, God's good is unconditional. It's yours now. It's your birthright. It's the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom, not when you get all these things right. They are already right. You just need to claim it and assume it and move to it now. That's powerful. Instead, go directly to source. Claim your good. Imagine it. Assume it. Claim it. Jesus, your I am awareness said it over and over again. Ask And seek, knock, and it's yours. Ask and you will receive. Seek and you'll find it. Knock and the door opens. Your awareness of being is asking you, what do you want me to do for you? Remember when he was asking Bartimaeus, the blind beggar? He asked him, what do you want me to do for you? Your I am awareness is asking you. It's not saying, I am asks us, Jesus asks us, and then we go through all these conditions. Well, I need this or I want that. Bartimaeus knew and said directly, I assume this, I want to see, right? In other words, forget about all those made up conditions to your complete and absolute fulfillment. It's done. So, remember Jesus healing the man. This is the man that couldn't walk at Bethesda, at the pool of Bethesda. The assumption of fulfillment. He asked him, do you wish to get well? This is your I am again. Do you wish to go directly to fulfillment? Do you wish to claim it now? Right? And what is the man answer? He talks about all the conditions that were preventing him from being healed. In other words, it was believed that pool could heal you. When the waters would stir up, those that needed healing would go into the pool. But everybody was walking over him. No one would help him to the pool. Right? No one in the outside world, none of the people, places, and things were helping him get what he wants. So what are you going to do? You got to claim it as already yours. You got to rise in consciousness to being it. Right? So he was answering, those conditions are keeping me from being healed. Right? No one helps me. Everyone goes ahead of me. Right? But what did Jesus say? What does your I am say? Your I am says, get up. Pick up your pallet. Pick up your bed and walk. Don't wait for the conditions to get just right. Don't wait until you're thinking and feeling better thoughts, until you get the metaphysical processes just right, so you find the right affirmation. Just get up, pick up your pallet and walk. Just assume it's fulfilled. Go to the assumption of fulfillment. Go to the assumption it's yours. It's unconditional. Jesus is saying, get up and walk. Your I am is saying it's already yours. The kingdom is yours. There are no conditions, right? In other words, forget about all that. Be healed. Claim your wish already fulfilled. Be the person you desire to be. Assume and claim your good. I am that I am. Go directly to your source. I am, right? Manifest it. Waiting for conditions to be right is just keeping you from it, right? I love this example of the pool, the healing pool at Bethesda. I think one of our subscribers and a client who I actually had a session with, she mentioned this in her comment. And that's why I thought of this. Thank you for mentioning that, because it's a powerful reminder that it's already yours. That's what the purpose of Jesus asked. Do you wish to get well? Well, then just claim it. Then get up and walk. Stop waiting for the conditions. He was waiting for the pool to stir, for the conditions to be just right, for people to not walk over him, the people to help him. Just claim it, right? Go directly to your source and manifest it, right? Waiting for the conditions to be right. And it was said at the pool, there were 5 porches, right? Where all those that needed healing were laying around, waiting for the waters to stir. Waiting for fulfillment, waiting to claim what they want, waiting for the conditions. Hear this: the conditions to be just right until they claim it. Remember, the significance of 5 is the 5 senses. You're trapped by your senses. You're trapped by the 3D conditions. You're waiting for those to change. You're waiting for those to be just right. You're waiting for your to think the right thoughts or feel the right thoughts so you can claim it, so you can give yourself permission. All of that, right? It's keeping you from, you're waiting for the waters to move when the waters are already moved, you're already there. Just get up and walk. Just get up and claim it. Just claim what you want, right? With God, all things are possible. With your I am awareness, all things are possible. That one and only reality, all things are possible. The assumption of absolute unconditional fulfillment. I am who I say I am. I am who I imagine myself to be. I am who I assume myself to be. Not I am who I assume myself to be if I meet this condition, if the 3D conditions are just right, if I think and feel the right thoughts, if I heal myself of past trauma and wounds, if I fix myself, if I improve my self-concept. No, it's I am who I say I am, period. End of story. Before Abraham, I am. There's no other story, right? Your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your wounds, your traumas, and all those other temporary conditions keep you from identifying with your imagined and desired reality. They keep you from claiming your good that's already yours, right? They keep you from claiming that end outcome. They keep you keeping you from being focused on that wish fulfilled, on that imagined end, on that imagined frame that it's already done, right? When you identify with any of those conditions as reality or as who you are, things look impossible. That's why Jesus said, with God all things are possible. With man, this is impossible. When you're identifying with your five senses as who you are, when you're laying around waiting for the waters to move, right? When you're identifying with all those conditions, then it does look impossible. It feels impossible, right? That's powerful. So when you are connected, so how do you do it? Connect with what you love. Connect with the end outcome. Connect with the fulfillment of your desire. See the end. See the assumption. Rest in the end frame. See yourself as that person already. See yourself being that person. See yourself having those things. Connect with what you love rather than what you lack. All things are possible. Really comes from the Magician's Way, who said it brilliantly in Magician's Way. When you're connected with what you love rather than what you lack, all things are possible. I am that. I am who I say I am. I am who I assume myself to be. You're not putting conditions on it anymore. You're claiming it. You're imagining yourself as already being that person. You're going to the end. And remember, the end wills the means, right? When you believe and assume that there are conditions that need to be met, example, I need to think and feel better thoughts. I need to heal my past trauma. I need to fix myself. I need to improve 3D conditions. I've got to wait until the conditions are just right, right? You're denying your true nature. You're denying your true name, I am. Instead of denying your true nature, I am, deny that any conditions need to be fulfilled or met to be who you are or have what you already have, what's already yours, right? To be who you truly are. You already are that. There are no or waiting for necessary metaphysical techniques, trying to get the right technique or the right affirmation. It's already yours. If you're going to do metaphysical techniques, do them out of love. Do them out of knowing yourself as source, not out of lack, not out of believing that you've got to get something right to claim you're good, right? Wow, that's powerful. Remember, you get lost in conditions, just like my client, inner and outer, that you believe have to be just right before you can be who you desire to be or have what you desire to have, right? You identify with those conditions as reality versus just temporary forms, temporary manifestations within that great reality, in that awareness. They're not reality. What's reality is what you say it is, what you determine it is, your reality, your source. So when you assume something, it's done. Go to the assumption of fulfillment, not to the assumption that, well, I can be fulfilled if these conditions are met. If things are just right, I can be fulfilled, right? Like the man at the pool, your attention is not on the end result. It's not on the desired end, right? Jesus asked him, do you want to get well? Do you want to be healed? And he started talking about all the reasons why he couldn't, because he wanted to get down to the pool, but people were stepping over him. No one was helping him. He couldn't get there in time. Jesus instead said, get up and walk. Get up and walk. Get up and claim you're good right now. Assume it. Go to that end and make that end your only reality. Make that end the only thing that matters. And then it will be matter. It will be your experience in 3D reality. When Jesus saw him lying there, this is what it says in Scripture. He knew that he had been there a long time in that condition. This is in Scripture. Interesting. It says Jesus saw him lying there and knew that he had already been there a long time in that condition. Well, we are sometimes believe that we're there a long time in those conditions, wrapped up in those conditions that we believe need to be met before we can have what we want. And so we say a year has passed, or 6 months has passed, or 3 days, or 30 years, whatever it is, keeping us from what we want. We perpetually keep it in the future. by saying things got to get just right before we can claim it. But remember, make the future now. Make the elsewhere here. Claim it right now from where you are in the present moment. There's only now. It doesn't happen in the future. It's not in the past. It's not in the future. It's right now. Your good is right now, here to claim it, right? Your assumptions, this is what the magician's way is. A few of these thoughts come from the magician's way. I love it. Your assumptions hit you in the form of thoughts and feelings, which you take to be objective reality. Do you see it? We start assuming that we got to meet these certain conditions before we can have what we want. We've got to get the metaphysical conditions right. We've got to fix ourselves. We've got to fix the trauma. And we take those thoughts and feelings to be reality versus they're just thoughts and feelings about reality. And you don't need it. And there are no conditions to your good. There are no conditions to what you can claim. So go to the assumption of absolute fulfillment. If you're going to go to assumption, make that your assumption, right? That's powerful. So because you feel them, these thoughts and feelings, and think them, you assume that the conditions you perceive and the limitations you perceive are real. So you automatically begin coping with them. All your power goes into the circumstances. What we talked about in the last video. All your power goes to the conditions, trying to fix them, trying to get them right, trying to get everything right before you claim your good. Right? You perceive these limitations. You assume these limitations. You assume that they're real. You assume that's reality and that those things have to be met. None of that's true. You try to resolve your thoughts and feelings so you can feel better by dealing with the conditions. When we don't feel good, we want to fix it. We want to resolve it. And it takes our focus off of our end outcome. It takes our focus off of our wish already being fulfilled. Right? And you're giving those thoughts and feelings power. You're giving those inner conditions of thoughts and feelings and those outer conditions of people, events, and circumstances, all temporary. None of them reality. All your power. It goes all into there, right? He says it here, all your power goes into the circumstances, right? So it's not about ignoring or running away from these conditions or running away from 3D reality. We're here to participate in 3D reality. We're here to have that physical experience. We're here to mix it up and feel like it and know ourselves. Know ourselves experientially as source. So it's not to trying to avoid that or any of that. It's not trying to avoid people, events, or conditions. It's mixing it up. It's going from that higher knowing. Right? Magician's Way talks about that. Non-participation cuts you off from your true power. Non-participation cuts you off from your true flow. It's about denying the power of those conditions over you, knowing that you are the creator, right? So don't put conditions on the fulfillment of your good. Don't put conditions on the absolute and complete fulfillment of your wishes and desires right now. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of Higher Consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking and sharing and commenting on the videos. Thank you for being part of our Facebook group, the Be Something Wonderful Ambassadors, at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful, for joining us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, and for joining our membership channel. There's a link below. There was a video released about a week ago, new one. There'll be another one coming soon. We're working on that. There's also a live stream later this month on September 24th, 2023 at 9 a.m. in the morning, Pacific Coast Standard Time. Right here, we're going to come to you live from Las Vegas and answer your questions that you're sending to us at info@besomethingwonderful.com. Last month, we went about 50 minutes answering your questions. We expect it to be a big one again this month. And remember, if you're not available at that time, it gets downloaded on the membership channel. So it's going to be there available for you to view on the membership channel. Creators, with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude, this is Tom with Be Something Wonderful. We'll see you soon.